for the reflective practitioner, we can see that the process of action research is then a process of continuous improvement. And there are certain aspects of this continuous improvement which we can look at diagrammatically. We can see here that the reflective practitioner, who's engaged in a continuous process of improvement of their teaching and of improvement in learning outcomes, is guided by three key principles. One principle is that there's an agreement, an understanding, a covenant that the individual practitioner has about their role in education. For example, why am I here? Why am I doing this? It underpins the notion that the teacher sees in their profession a particular purpose, a valuable undertaking. There's also what can be known as a charter for the reflective practitioner, or in other words, a code of working as a reflective practitioner. And we can understand this in terms of how we make decisions as teachers and as researchers of teaching. And these come together to help us understand that what we're doing with action research is looking at our practice from a very critical point of view. And action research then is a critical study of practice. And we can consider this in terms of what informs our decisions that we take in the classroom. And therefore, action research as a continuous process can be seen as a process which helps schools develop themselves and helps schools realize increasing levels of success. It's also enabling of teachers working together, collaborating and supporting students in their learning to maximize the outcomes. It includes, therefore, certain decisions about actions taken in the classroom and the data which is collected from investigations after actions. And therefore data can be both formative and summative. Formative in the sense that it can help us make further decisions, and summative in the sense that it can help us make conclusions. And therefore professional continuous learning through action research is or can be based on collaborative conversations with peers and even others like parents, and could certainly include students also. There will also be a focus on the outcomes of action research, on the results of the process of action research, and therefore the teacher and the school community has accountability and responsibility for these outcomes, for these results. And in this sense, when the reflective practitioner is participating with others in the school, in a community environment, there are professional learning teams, and action research helps such teams develop and use information successfully to engage students, to help students develop and to realize then improvements in outcomes for learning in the educational setting. And consequently, improvements for the reflective practitioner need to be recognizable, and consequently then the process of action research needs to be very smart. There are smart goals for undertaking action research in the classroom and for the reflective practitioner working with action research as a process of reflective practice. Action research, or we can actually call it teacher enquiry, will inform the practice of the individual teacher. It's not an academic activity as such. It's very much a practical process for developing skills and knowledge. And it's useful, especially where students are experiencing difficulties, because this can help the teacher support students in a much more focused and practical way. And therefore, this process of continuous improvement is not just for the individual teacher, but it's for all teachers that are working in a school, and also for the students.